Right, Mark Bannister.
Hello.
Thank you for talking to us today. Best opposite sex young birding show with a stunning albino.
Thank you.
How does that feel?
Well, I always thought the bird was a little bit special. She took a long while to come through the moult. She was off of a good line, a very tight line. I started with albinos when I got interested in my dear friend Ian Fordham, who helped me immensely. And I persevered with them. I always had a soft spot, but I thought this bird was a bit special. She's only 9 months old, but she took a long while coming through the moult. And I'm looking forward to the challenge of breeding with her now. She's got 3 other sisters I'm pleased with as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can persevere with those as well.
Fantastic. And did you watch the sort of judging for the majors with, or did you leave the room?
Well, I did stand at the back, and I was with this gentleman, and there was the lutein, I believe it was Colin Dally's, and I thought we had a chance, and I couldn't see it with my bird because I knew it had the green dot on it, it hadn't got the blue spot for the breeder bird, so I was amazed when he said out the number. I think it was 332, number 1, but I was very pleased and fortunate to win.
Fantastic. And is this your biggest achievement to date with the Budgies, would you say?
Yes, I think it's my biggest one at the BS. I'm quite competitive, as people know, on the beasts, and I put a lot into my bird. I'm fortunate on work at home, so I can devote probably a bit more time.
Fantastic. And I think, can you tell us what else you've won this weekend as well? Because it's been a good all-round weekend. So what else have you won?
This weekend, John, we was fortunate enough to win Best Intermediate age with a grey cinnamon cockbird. He's been a bit of a challenge. He's dropping spots, but he just looked good, on the day. So I was a bit lucky there, But he's also done me a bit of good in the box. We've got a few of these things lying around, to work with next year. So looking forward to that.
Because I know when I spoke to you a little while earlier today, you said you'd done a bit of bad luck with a couple of your birds, and then
yes,
so this was a
this was a big pickup. We lost 2 birds. A bird called Blanco's and albino, very very good for me. He won, I believe, 24 cc's. Also a yellow lacewing that done me a lot of good. Between them, I think they've won 36 cc's, and to lose them in 2 weeks was a bit of a blow. But obviously working with livestock, we do expect this, and we have to bounce. But it was a bit of a blow.
And with your setup, just so, because you're obviously an active member on the forum.
Yes, I enjoy going on there and listening to people's comments. And no favourites, but obviously Mr. Pesto is my favourite.
Don't tell him that. His head will swell bigger, greater than it is. So, how many breeding cages do you have?
I've got 36 breeding cages, which I use to breed with. I usually breed with 32, John, and then I keep 4 stock cages for the youngsters coming through. I'm fortunate enough, we've only got the smallest of garden, but my better half is, we've just put 9 foot on the end, so I've got roughly to work with about 32 foot, 36 foot, so,
And what's your sort of favourite time for breeding, or do you just breed all year round?
I like to get the birds down, and I like to get the birds to start breeding in September. I think to get the birds into gear, you lose the first round, obviously, we have the later rings on, and then Christmas time, the birds, then we can put the future rings on them. But I think it's a good thing, because you're asking the birds after November when the weather's changing, it's getting a bit colder. In past I've had better results doing it that way. I look to breed 250, 300 a year, So.
And is your whole stud red eye, or do you?
They are my favourites, the Lutino and the albino. I've also got a soft spot for grey greens, but I've never done very good with them. But the albinos and the lutinos are my favourite. Yeah, they've got a soft spot for them.
What was that for any particular reason, or just because you liked them from the outset? Or?
I just always had a thing with them, really, and I think there was a bloke in my club who was there, with Frank Sames had a few, and I saw them, and I aspired to breed something as good as what Frank could breed. But,
Fantastic. And how long have you kept the bird for? Did you keep them as a kid?
I started off with having birds down the road when I was 12, and then I graduated when I was in my early 20s to have exhibition birds. And I showed at the time, I only showed one year, was against the great James Hunt, but obviously I didn't do any good against James, and people like, he was winning everything, And I only packed up one year, but then I had to leave the birds because of my work. I was a greyhound trainer for many years. I trained dogs at Hackney Wick in East London, and I was there for a number of years. And it was pure by chance. I came back to the fancy, me and my partner went out for a meal, the couple. We went out for a meal, and the gentleman kept canaries. And he showed me his bird room, and I picked the Cajun aviary up, and that was it. I was back into it, and I've been back 8 years now, and enjoyed my time back in it.
And you certainly, I know, obviously you're from our neck of the woods down in the south, but just following your results online as well, you like to support the show scene, don't you?
Yes, I go with my dear friend Eric Alderson. We go around the shows and we do as many as we can, and we try and support as many as we can.
Fantastic. And with the red eyes, I know they're notoriously difficult to put size on and keep size into them. Is there what particular secrets have you got for?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think to breed good red eyes, you need plenty of patience. There is some golden rules, obviously, as you know yourself, you can get the size into them by, say, with a lutein, and we get a good green bird into an opening, but then we get the suffusion in, and then what I do then is to pair them back to their own, like lutein. You're looking at about 3 years if you know what you're doing. You're not going to breed good birds like that overnight, The main ingredient is patience, and also to keep your lines very tight, rather than buying here, there, everywhere. Keep the lines very tight, and what you're lacking in your stud is to bring that feature in. And also, I'd say to any people who are starting off in birds, try and get under the wing of someone experienced. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of money.
Fantastic. And in terms of online resources as well, where would you point beginners to try and gain extra information?
Well, the EBF is a great foundation of knowledge. There's so many experienced people there. People that have been and seen and done, and world champions on there. And I would recommend it to anybody.
Super. And in terms of fleck birds, this is my last question really. With you, how do you feel about them? If someone offered you an absolutely amazing bird that was flecked, would you use it, and if so, how?
Yes, I would. I think fleck birds have a place in studs, but you have to know how to use them. Obviously, I can use them because I can dilute them into my stud if there's a bird that's flecked using lutinos and albinos. But I would tell people to proceed with caution, because them birds, flecking, as we both know, is an accumulative fault. You're going to multiply them before you know where you'll end up in the shed for if you don't know what you're doing. But to tread carefully.
Brilliant stuff. Well, Mark, congratulations on a really tremendous weekend. I know we're a short time away from you going up and picking a whole load of trophies up, so
thank you very much.
I hope you're feeling fit. But congratulations, and thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
It's been a pleasure.